Powerful collaborations, cutting-edge science, and curious minds coming together for a glimpse of the future. Stay tuned as we look at the latest updates on some of the most promising technology projects. Hello and welcome. I'm Peter Ballant from Technicon, and today we delve into the SPARTA project once again. If you have been following along, you know that SPARTA is a colossal project funded by the European Commission. The goal of SPARTA is lofty but pointed. They want to reinvent how cybersecurity is done in Europe. With the help of 44 partners from 14 European countries, SPARTA is poised to make a real difference. We were fortunate enough to speak with several partners during the SPARTA kickoff meeting in the first half of 2019. We start today with Hervé Dupart from IMT right here near Paris. Let's go into the studio. Tell us about SPARTA and more specifically your role in SPARTA, because I think you are responsible for one specific functional area.
So I'm managing one of the programs. So SPARTA is composed of basically three large areas, and one of these areas is the research programs, the domain where we're going to do actual research. So there are four of them, and I'm managing one of the programs called CAPE, which is related to certification for agile environments. Basically, the idea is that since digital technologies are becoming pervasive, we're going to need to certify that they function properly. And so we are going to develop new techniques and tools to do a better job at certifying various systems and services that we will deploy in the future.
If everything is a success, then at the end of this, you will have a sort of a new method in place for certification.
So we'll have new processes and new tools for certification. Certification is complicated because basically it's about telling people in an easy to understand way that what they buy will do what they expect from it. Basically, when you take your mobile phone today, you have a number of expectations. Like it's gonna help you call, send text messages, receive them without interference. And 99% of the time it works. Tomorrow, with connected cars, with connected devices of all kinds, health, all of these things will be networked, controlled by networks. And so we will need to certify that not only do they do not harm to you, they also, the control through the network also doesn't harm you, which is a completely different way of thinking from traditional IT techniques, where we basically buy things for a short period of time, 6 months to, 2 years. Cars are supposed to drive 15, 20 years, and they're complex objects. So we will need new methods to verify that they actually perform in the way they're expected to.
So we could say the certification component here is really consumer-based, or driven by the consumer, perhaps.
It's driven by consumers, but also by companies, because when they integrate some of these products into their services, they need to certify to their customers, and so they're likely to use certification coming from the original bricks to build their own certification, and that's going to take time. Another thing that's happening is that the IT world is moving extremely fast. We're introducing things such as DevOps, where basically you're performing a service at the same time as you're developing it. And that's not so great for certification. So we'll need to be more agile. And certification in the past takes time and it's expensive. We need to be more agile and cheaper. That's, in a nutshell, what we could expect from the end of the project.
Is it fair to say that this certification process will be applied towards things that come out of the SPARTA project?
What we hope is that some of the things that come out of the SPARTA project will be used by certification labs. SPARTA in itself, as a project, will probably not run a certification program, but it's expected that the SPARTA is a model for this network of competence center. And the network of competence center is expected to run certification activities. So it's fair to say, I think, that the outcome of this program of SPARTA will be fed into future activities of this network of competence centers and possibly to other certification labs so that they can improve their processes and take into account these evolutions of the technology into their processes.
And what would it look like if you didn't exist, if you weren't part of this project? What would be the risk to the consumer?
The risk to the consumer, typically in objects, people tend to think about safety. It's supposed to be safe for you to use something. But by safe, what they mean is that if there is a failure, like a component that misbehaves for some reason, fails, it's not going to harm you. If your car breaks somewhere, you're supposed to still be able to stop it somewhere. With a malicious attacker, someone who purposely attacks a device, it changes the game because he can control it in ways that we do not necessarily anticipate. And if it does that, then there are adverse effects that are hard today to take into account. And so one of the progresses that we're looking at is trying to certify both safety and security properties so that all together they form an homogeneous certification that guarantees to the consumer that the object is actually both safe and secure, which in the end will mean it's safe for use. It will not harm you either unintentionally or intentionally.
You're not making anything. You're not building anything, right? Is this more?
We will be building tools. Typically, things that we can expect to build are environments for certification. Platforms that will generate data, that will generate attacks, that will generate normal usage, where a new tool, a new device, a new service will be put in front of this platform. It will interact, and we will measure how these interactions satisfy the properties that we expect to meet. So there will be probably at some point in time systems or platforms that will be developed to enrich the toolbox of certification labs. Yes, there will be tools.
Have you worked on a project of this magnitude before? This, from what I understand, you have quite a few partners here.
Yeah, it's. I think in terms of European project, it's huge. I think most of the projects of this size are usually networks of excellence, where people actually are more there to interact and meet, but they work in isolation. Here, I think it's a completely different beast, where people are actually supposed to work together at a scale where I think most of the EU projects have been involved in like 8 to 12 partners. Here it's 44. So it's just basically each of the 4 programs is the size of a small EU project. and that's about, I don't know, 1/3 of the activity of the project.
Yeah.
So
And from your standpoint, if you look at the next 3 years, what kind of challenges do you see?
The first challenge that I see is that the regulatory framework is not completely defined yet. It's changing under the pressure of member states, under the pressure of the European Commission to adapt to the new environment. There are new regulations coming out regularly, and it's not mature. So we will need to work in a changing environment, and we will need to adapt to what comes out of the European Commission or the member states during the coming 3 years. There will be also a question of compromise. People don't have necessarily the same understanding of the regulation or the same interests. Typically, on country level, some countries are very strong on their national interests, others are more willing to cooperate. Some have strong processes today, they want to keep them, others are willing to delegate. All of this will be a question of negotiation, and in the end, being able to, even if we don't have exactly the same tools or exactly the same mechanisms or processes in the end, at least that they're compatible. And that we can have a common agreement on what they mean, because actually what we really want to have is a common understanding in the end of what we achieve, is it safe or not. How we achieve that is probably, at least in my view, not that important, as long as we have the same understanding and that we reach the same conclusions, that yes, it's safe or no, it's not.
How was the kickoff meeting today?
Good. It's a major event. I mean, it's making a project of 44 partners start. Yeah, I mean, it's an achievement. I think we will have, as far as I can tell, multiple smaller kickoffs at the program level. We're also, as an academic institution, involved in the training work package quite a lot. And given the huge shortage of skilled people in cybersecurity, it's having a strong training and awareness work package is also going to be important. And then, of course, there will be all the interactions that we have together to convince the European Commission that the model that we show here is the good model, is also important. So there will be many activities, I guess, during these 3 years, which will be full of interactions.
You mentioned a shortage of cybersecurity people.
Yes.
What can be done to change this?
Many things. First of all, cybersecurity is more pervasive than what we think. A lot of us tend to think of cybersecurity as being a specialized skill or a specialized field. And there are cybersecurity aspects in many jobs. For example, someone who is operating a water plant or nuclear power plant or a smart city tomorrow will have cybersecurity aspects in his job. It will not be the main focus. His main focus will be on producing energy, producing water, ensuring that cars have a smooth traffic flow. But he will have cybersecurity aspects. So we need to push these few things that are relevant, that are domain relevant to these people. We also need to attract more people to cybersecurity. Clearly, so I work in an engineering school. We have about 220 students. They have lots of choices. Today, everyone wants to do data analytics, artificial intelligence. Cybersecurity, well, it's good. We have a good training program. We've been there for 15 years. I only get 15 students out of the 24 or something that I could get.
Wow.
So it's trying to make people understand that cybersecurity as a job is interesting and that we will help them have a good career. And that's not so obvious. I think people don't understand the diversity of job that they can get in cybersecurity. And that's difficult. That's a difficult message.
Tell me, is there anything that you would like to say about your part in the project? Anything we haven't talked about as of yet?
Well, I'm looking forward to developing new things. I mean, new services, new tools, new training programs, working with lots of interesting people, and hopefully making sure that the European space gets better cybersecurity tools and techniques. That's really hopefully the best that we can do out of SPARTA. And SPARTA, as far as I can tell, is only a beginning. So there will be new frameworks, there will be new programs from where SPARTA is hopefully contributing to the foundation of these things in the future.
And yeah, I'm getting this feeling from everyone I talk to. It's a 3-year project, but things will continue to move
exactly.
after the project.
We're kind of a turning point. We're finishing Horizon 2020. There will be Horizon Europe. And the mindset of Horizon Europe is changing with this thing that basically cybersecurity is going to penetrate everything. There are some aspects related to military as well, that's joining forces, because the problem is so big that we need to leverage as much as we can from people. If we want to reap the benefit from connecting all these devices and pushing IT technologies everywhere, we need also safety and security. And that's foundational. If we don't get that, people will get away.
Right. Well, I want to wish you much luck on the project.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll be checking in and hopefully do this again at some point in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. I certainly look forward to it.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us today.
Thank you very much.
Next up in the studio, we are joined by Jan Heine. Welcome to the Technicon Mobile Studio.
Thank you very much.
Tell us where you come from and describe your role in SPARTA.
I'm representing the Brno University of Technology, Czech Republic, and I will be the work package leader for training and awareness in this project, in this consortium.
For training and awareness. Okay, so does that mean training and awareness within the project, or when the project is done, training and awareness about the things that come out of the project? Who are you training?
We are trying to develop first the academic programs and professional training courses, and of course building some awareness strategies for spreading the word about cybersecurity to the public. So we are not training the members of the consortium, we are trying to develop a new curricula and materials for both training and awareness.
Okay. And maybe you could tell us, maybe you could give us the overall view of the SPARTA project. And I'm talking in terms of the average citizen in Europe. What does this project mean to them?
SPARTA is a very large project. Actually, it's a network of competence for cybersecurity, meaning that we have 44 partners, which represent organizations from many domains, for the key domains like public, private, academia. The goal of the project, the ultimate goal, is to advance the research in cybersecurity and also do something for, as I said, education, training, awareness in cybersecurity. That are the main goals of the SPARTA project.
Okay.
And for the average person in the European Union, well, hopefully he will be much better protected against cyber threats after the project is either finished or after the 3 years period.
And when you say cyber threats, are we talking about somebody having their identity stolen, or are we talking about banks being hacked and other businesses being hacked, which then has a trickle-down effect to individuals, citizens?
Well, in the project there are many tasks and many programs, so we are trying to cover all the type of threats within the project. So if we talk about identity thefts, about frauds in the banks, we should all cover that within the project.
And you say your particular area of interest or your task in this project is raising awareness, is that right?
Right.
Okay. And so
together with education and training.
What does this entail? I mean, do you talk to the media? How do you spread the word?
Yeah, actually the first task is to create a methodology, an approach how to address all the kinds of domains and different kind of roles and people, and then actually run these campaigns so that people get to know about all these cyber threats and about the ways how to mitigate these threats.
And the SPARTA project, if this is a success, then what happens? It sounds like you're creating a better research methodology for cybersecurity. So how do we know this project worked at the end of 3 years? What do we see?
Well, I will be now talking about my domain within the project, which is the training and education. So within this area, we divide our activities into 3 parts. The first one is creating curricula for academic education for universities. So in the end, after we are finished with our tasks, there will be a best practice for universities to follow to create a study program in cybersecurity. The second part is for professional training. Very similarly to the first task, we are creating a sample, a best practice for professional education and professional training. After the project is ended, the employee and the employer has a curriculum for education and for getting the professional skills to become an expert in cybersecurity. And in awareness, we need to create a strategy that actually works, that can address different kind of people and let them know about cybersecurity threats. Because nowadays, most people, they do not realize what are the risks and what are the threats in cyberspace.
So this could really change things for the way we look at cybersecurity here in Europe. How does this fit in with the way cybersecurity is viewed in other parts of the world, in the U.S., for example? Are there lessons learned from the United States, or are we actually creating a new platform which will create international attention?
Well, if we compare United States and Europe, there is a difference. In United States, you can see that the approach, at least to the education in cybersecurity, is more, let's say, centralized. There is some uniform approach. However, in Europe, we have only national guidance, national approaches to the education, and there is some need for harmonization across different nations. And this is exactly what we are trying to do in SPARTA project. We would like to harmonize and create something universal on a European level, not on the national level only.
And do you have a good foundation from all these different nations doing their own cybersecurity efforts, or is it sort of like starting from the beginning?
No, actually, the efforts from different states are pretty good. I mean, they have the study programs, they have the sample curricula, but sometimes it's not that easy to harmonize them. So we definitely have a starting point from these national materials. However, they need to get somehow synchronized.
What message would you have for the average European citizen that's listening to this podcast about this project?
Well, our goal in this project is to let everybody know about these threats and about the techniques which can average people use for protection of his or her computer, mobile device, IoT device. So please follow all our results because they can be very useful for your practical life. And second, the project is not only about education and training, which is my work package, but has also programs for research in cybersecurity. So this can be really the start of creation of new technologies and new mechanisms for the protection. So it's, as I said, not only about learning new stuff from the outcomes of the project, but also about using the results which can get out of this project.
So your message is cautionary and quite telling of how SPARTA will change the landscape of cybersecurity here. What else can you add about SPARTA?
Well, personally, there is one aspect of the project which I see very important, and we have not touched that before, and that's the question of privacy protection. This is specifically addressed within the project, and we believe this is something, this is an area where European Union is the leader. European Union is supporting privacy-enhancing technologies. We have the legislation which actually supports the rights for privacy protection. And within the project, we would like to develop actual techniques, mechanisms, and practical devices and algorithms which can be used for the privacy protection. So this particular area is very important for me, and we are also taking part in this work.
Okay.
Well, training and awareness is certainly an important part of SPARTA, and on behalf of Technicon, I wish you and your team all the best.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. For more information about SPARTA, visit their website at sparta.eu. This podcast has been brought to you by Technicon. This project has received funding from the European Union's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Program under Grant Agreement number 830892.